네, 다음은 이번 심포지엄의 마지막 발표 시간입니다. 레이델 연구원 조경현 연구원장님이 쿠바산 폴리코사놀에 의한 혈압 개선과 HDL의 양적, 질적 향상 및 간, 난소 및 고환 보호 기능, 중국산 및 미국산 폴리코사놀과 비교라는 주제로 발표해 주시도록 하겠습니다. 조경현 연구원장님께 큰 박수 부탁드립니다.
Thank you for introduction me and the good afternoon everyone. Today I would like to talk about how the Cuban policosanol, exactly Raydel policosanol, can increase HDL functionality and HDL quantity. And there the supplementation is more effective in the liver and ovary and testis, as well as the blood pressure, in the comparison with the Chinese and American policosanol. So the enhancement of HDL quantity and quality, and how they are different from the China and Cuba and USA. So our dream is to improve the quality of life. It is possible by the HDL enhancement of HDL quality and the quantity. So the many diseases are related with this dysfunctional HDL. So the raising HDL quality of life is possible by the raising HDL quantity and quality. In our human bloodstream, there is the LDL and the HDL, but reducing LDL and enhancing HDL is for the healthy longevity solution. So cholesterol is essential component, but we hate cholesterol. Just although this cholesterol is not guilty, but we have been hating the cholesterol because the cholesterol is accumulated in the human blood vessel, so can make narrow, so then make the hypertension. The more the blood pressure is growing up. So when the LDL is synthesized, carry the cholesterol by from the liver and to the peripheral cells. This is the essential pathway how cell grow up, and the cell is necessary, always in cholesterol. So the LDL is not guilty, but sometimes this LDL can be oxidized, and this oxidized LDL can make the atherosclerotic plaque. So oxy-LDL is guilty. Because the oxidized LDL is accumulated in the plaque, so in the brain side and the heart side, so many diseases are initiated. But the HDL cholesterol can clean up the plaque from the cholesterol in here, and then to excrete in the liver for the lowering the blood cholesterol. So the lumen of the blood vessel can be widened, and then the blood pressure was lower. So the HDL functionality is more important than the HDL quantity. So I have been doing the 32 years of the HDL research, and then my dream was to find a new drug agent. Here, which can improve HDL quantity and quality. So I tested many functional food ingredient, omega-3 fish, curcumin, cinnamon, and then the Brazilian acai, but I failed. All of those are to improve the HDL quantity. And I met policosanol in 9 years ago. So from the newspaper advertisement, and then my research initially started with suspicious mind, and then my journey was initiated to compare the HDL functionality and the blood pressure. So many clinical study and the animal study. So the enhancement of HDL in quantity and quality of the Raydel policosanol, so comparison and clinical efficacy. So policosanol is the extracted from the sugarcane wax in here, and then there is 8 aliphatic alcohol chains in here, and from the originally developed in the scenic. So I tested, the study was initiated how this policosanol can increase the HDL, but the policosanol is not soluble in water. So we encapsulated in HDL into the core side of the HDL. The policosanol is existed. Then this policosanol can be dissolved in the aqueous buffer. So we can test in the cell-based system and any in vitro study. So here, in policosanol can inhibit human CETP, especially in the RHDL state. So we compared the anisotropic, the Merck, the CETP inhibitor, and then the policosanol can more inhibit the CETP, higher than the anisotropic. But in ethanol state, there is less the inhibition activity in here. So here, HDL from the LDL, there is a CETP as the tunnel structure. So here, the cholesterol ester can be from HDL to LDL. So many synthetic chemicals cannot improve the HDL functionality, although they can increase HDL quantity. So all of the chemicals are failed because they could destroy the HDL structure and the functionality and the displacement of ApoA1 and the other off-target effect, raising blood pressure. But the policosanol is the isolated from the natural, the bioavailable, and then no side effect with the CETP inhibition. So the tunnel in here, the CETP structure, so the policosanol, the aliphatic chains, the average length is very similar with the cholesterol oleate, the length. So it is suitably fit to this tunnel. So the competitive inhibition of the cholesterol oleate, CETP. So we published the first paper in about 7 years ago. So the enhancement of HDL cholesterol, the functions in here, and the CETP inhibition. And then second paper was the feeding supplementation into the zebrafish, and then the lipid lowering effect was the proved. And then in human pilot clinical study, we found that the CETP inhibition and reduces blood pressure in the unexpected findings. And then we more proved in the spontaneously hypotensive rat. So the blood pressure lowering effect was proved more. In this SHR, this mouse is the spontaneously hypertension. So the blood pressure was going up and up and up. But when the policosanol supplementation, the blood pressure was dramatically reduced with dose-dependent manner of the policosanol. With the aldosterone level was decreased by the 8 weeks consumption. And then in clinical study, the long-term 24 weeks and the short-term 12 weeks shows also the blood pressure lowering effect in here. And then we got the Korean FDA permission to claim the blood pressure, the lowering effect. About the SVP was 7.7% and 7.1% of DVP. And then in Korean population also, the negative association between HDL cholesterol and the blood pressure, and the positive association with the age and the blood pressure in here. So SVP and DVP both. So we found that the further research revealed the Cuban policosanol inhibited calcification and then the apoptosis in here. So the functionality of the policosanol via enhancement of HDL was proved. So next study is there is the several type of the policosanol from the different origin and the different countries. So we compared here the Cuban scenic, the policosanol, and then Chinese policosanol, the Xi'an Natural, Xi'an Realen, and the Shanxi, and the USA, the Garuda International in here. So the scenic one, Raydel policosanol is sugarcane, the Xi'an Natural and Xi'an Realen is from sugarcane, but Shanxi one is the rice bran, and this Garuda International is also sugarcane. They have very similar the ingredient, the composition, the 8 aliphatic, the primary alcohols, but they have different color and different texture, as shown in here. So we compared how these policosanol are different from the functionality in regarding HDL quantity and HDL quality. So we found that the rHDL synthesis with each policosanol revealed with the same molar ratio in here, revealed that the Raydel policosanol has shown the higher, the bigger the particle size with the slower electron mobility in here, while the Chinese policosanol show the fast electron mobility. That means the somewhat difference in the particle size. And then we found that the anti-glycation activity is very important to check HDL functionality. Here, the glycation caused the degradation of the A4A1 in HDL compared with the native HDL. But the Raydel policosanol treated one, HDL, showed the highest the band intensity. That means the resistant to the glycation reaction by the fructose treatment in here. The lowest the fluorescence, the reaction, and the highest band intensity. More protection of the policosanol, the Raydel policosanol, can protect the HDL. While the Chinese policosanol did not. And the oxidation of LDL can make the degradation of the LDL band in here, while the native LDL is stronger band intensity in here. But the Raydel policosanol, the treatment caused the more the protection of the LDL, the less oxidation in here. So while the Chinese policosanol showed the much weaker or the protection activity against the LDL oxidation. So in summary, the rHDL, the policosanol, the rHDL showed the inhibition of the glycation and oxidation and the toxicity. So they improve the HDL quality and enhance the functionality. So the Professor Uehara showed the cholesterol efflux was enhanced by the Raydel policosanol. So we treated this policosanol into the Alzheimer model mouse in here. So the 4 weeks consumption of policosanol, and then the behavior test after the 4 months the policosanol consumption. So we found that the passive avoidance test, the policosanol, the treated one, showed the avoidance, the attenuation, because the mouse like to enter the dark side, but there is electric shock. The next day, the mouse can remember that there is electric shock, so this mouse cannot enter easily. But the Alzheimer model showed the attenuation, just go. So this is the Alzheimer, but the policosanol consumption can make more attenuation, latency time. So that makes somewhat the memory was enhanced, improved by the policosanol consumption. So the brain side, the hippocampus and the cortex also showed this policosanol consumption can make the removal of the amyloid beta in here. To compare with the placebo, so the amyloid beta aggregation was removed by the policosanol consumption. Then makes the linked with the increase of latency time to enhance the memory against the bad memory, bad experience. And then I did in the clinical study with the Korean population, healthy Korean participant. But we need the Japanese, healthy Japanese, the clinical study with the Professor Uehara, with the Japanese product of the Raydel policosanol. And then we monitored about the 12 weeks consumption after one poster month. So the total 16 weeks the monitoring of after the 12 weeks consumption of the policosanol. So the placebo controlled and randomized the double-blind study. And we found that the blood pressure was also decreased after the 4 weeks consumption in here, and then the glycated hemoglobin is significantly decreased in here after 4 weeks. So this is related with the diabetic condition was improved. And then the liver hepatic function, the AST and the ALT was reduced in the policosanol group. And the gamma GTP was also significantly decreased in here, although the both group had the same amount of the alcohol consumption, about 10 grams per day. So, but the significantly reduced the gamma GTP in policosanol group. And the alkaline phosphatase is also significantly decreased. This data shows the somewhat enhancement of the hepatic function is possible by the policosanol consumption. The 12 weeks the consumption is enough to get the recover the hepatic function. And then the blood urea nitrogen and the uric acid is also decreased in the 16 weeks, the 12 weeks consumption and after 4 weeks. And then the A1 level was increased in here. About the 12% was enhanced. In the 15% was enhanced in HDL2 and HDL3 in policosanol group, compared with the placebo group. So the HDL-cholesterol content was increased, and the ratio was also increased. So the HDL quantity is also elevated by the policosanol consumption. And then this time image shows the week 12, the policosanol group shows more distinct and more the particle size was increased by the policosanol group, while the placebo group did not. So this data is related with the enhanced cholesterol efflux data. And then the antioxidant ability was also increased in the ferroxonase activity is also increased in the policosanol group, and the HDL2 and HDL3 both showed the higher enhanced the ferroxonase activity. And then with the summary of this clinical study, the 12 weeks consumption can cause the glycation was inhibited and hepatic function was enhanced. And the LDL oxidation was reduced and the HDL quantity and the quality is increased. To result, the finally improvement of blood pressure and the dyslipidemia. So again, back to the comparison study of the policosanol. We supplemented the 3 Chinese policosanol and the Raydel policosanol to the hypolipidemic zebrafish. So the Raydel policosanol group showed the highest survivability and the lowest increase of the body weight in here. So, and then the total cholesterol was reduced, and the triglyceride was reduced compared with the Chinese policosanol. And then the ratio of the HDL cholesterol was increased. And also the AST and ALT, the hepatic liver function was also enhanced in the policosanol group. In here, the lowest level of the AST and ALT. And the HNE group, the infiltration of a neutrophil was increased by the high cholesterol diet in here. But the policosanol group showed the least amount of the infiltration of the neutrophils. That means the hepatic inflammation was reduced. And the interleukin-6, the inflammatory marker, was increased in the high cholesterol diet in here, but the policosanol group, the Raydel policosanol group showed the least amount of the interleukin-6, while the Chinese policosanol, the Xian natural and the Xian realin and the Shanxi, rice bran, was showed the highest, the interleukin-6. They are not good for the anti-inflammation. And the oocyte, the analysis shows this hyperlipidemia can cause the ROS production in oocyte and the more apoptosis. But the Raydel policosanol group showed the least the production of the ROS and the apoptosis. But especially the Chinese policosanol, the Xian realin and the Shanxi shows the highest the extent of the ROS production and apoptosis. And more interestingly, the Raydel policosanol shows the highest ratio of the mature oocyte stage, while the Chinese policosanol did not. The fully mature one is predominant in the Chinese policosanol. So that means the Raydel policosanol consumption can help to improve the oocyte function in here. And in testis, the testicular cell analysis showed that the hyperlipidemia, the high cholesterol consumption, can make damage of the testicular cell. So this the gap of the intercellular area, the interstitial area was increased compared with the normal diet. So that means the damage of the testicular cells. But the Raydel policosanol group showed the smallest area of the interstitial area in here, while the Chinese policosanol, especially the Xian realin and the Shanxi, showed the most the damage of the testicular cell with the highest area of the interstitial area. And again, the ROS production was increased in this the hyperlipidemia, but the Raydel policosanol showed the least the amount of the ROS production and the apoptosis, while the Chinese policosanol did not. They showed the highest extent. So this data means the different functionality of the Raydel policosanol and the Chinese policosanol. So in summary, the Raydel policosanol showed the antioxidant and the anti-inflammatory and anti-apoptosis activity. So that means the high survivability and hepatic function and improvement of the ovarian and the testicular cells. So policosanol was published in Cuba in the 30 years ago in here, and then I met 9 years ago in here, the 2014. So, and then the encapsulation of the policosanol into HDL can make possible of the many in vitro studies and the functionality to test. So we found that the last 9 years, the many animal tests and human tests, the HDL quantity and quality was increased. So now we found that from the dyslipidemia and the hypertension and inflammation was improved by the policosanol. And infection of the COVID-19, as the morning session, the HDL can kill the coronavirus the SARS coronavirus. And the blood pressure was improved, and the reproduction system can be improved. And now the ongoing clinical research in the two big hospitals in the Seoul and Incheon in Korea, so we testing now the mild cognitive impairment or dementia can be improved by the Raydel policosanol. So in summary of my talk is the longevity factor HDL, as the Raydel policosanol can raise HDL quantity and quality, and the enhancement of HDL associated with many organs, with the liver, kidney, ovary, and testis. And the blood pressure lowering improved in Korean study and the Japanese study. So now the announcement, the announced here, we are doing the nationwide campaign with the Let's Make the Healthy Longevity Society. We are raising HDL cholesterol and HDL quality. So let's see it briefly. Volume up, please. 볼륨 좀 올려주시죠.
주는 역할을 하는데요. 나이가 들어 HDL이 감소하고 기능이 떨어지면 고혈압의 위험이 높아질 수 있습니다.
고혈압을 방치하면 심근경색, 협심증, 뇌졸중, 치매 등의 치명적인 합병증을 유발할 수 있습니다. 자신의 HDL 수치를 알고 이를 꾸준히 잘 관리하면 고혈압과 심혈관 질환 예방 및 정상 개선에 도움이 됩니다. 100세 시대 장수인자 HDL을 기억하세요.
꾸준한 운동과 건강한 식습관, 그리고 장수인자 HDL 높이기는 질병 없는 건강한 사회를 여는 열쇠입니다. 이 캠페인은 YTN과 함께합니다.
So my last message is let's remember HDL for healthy longevity. Thank you very much.